Tessie Tames Her Tongue by Melissa Martin. There's Tessie on the cover. Tessie Tames Her Tongue, a book about learning when to talk and when to listen. Tessie is a talker, morning, noon, and night. Whew, that's a lot of talking. I visited a butterfly house and at an observatory yesterday. Whoa, I saw a monarch, a tiger swallow, a red admiral, an American snoot, a Goliath birdwing. Oh, look at her friends' faces. I'm not sure they like all of Tessie's talking. When her family watches a movie, Tessie talks and talks. Popcorn? Is it corn that pops? I think it should be called corn pops. Shh, says her brother. We're trying to watch the movie. You're such a blabby-gabby. Ugh. But I need to tell you that popcorn kernels can pop up to 3 feet in the air. I read that fact in a book. Shh, says her father. Let's have some quiet. Tessie, the fast talker, talks when she eats ice cream. Dad, is there such a thing as hot dog flavored ice cream? I'd like to try it, but I wouldn't put mustard and onions on it. Maybe I'll invent pizza flavored ice cream. Whew! Oh, owie! Brain freeze! Is there a scientific name for an ice cream headache? Gross! Hollers her brother. Don't talk with your mouth full. But Tessie didn't hear him. Every day, Tessie talks on the bus. The whole way to school. She talks to the bus driver. I need to make a science project. What should I do? I once made a volcano out of clay, red lava made of food coloring, baking soda and vinegar bubbled out and down the sides. It didn't really explode, but it was messy. To the kids beside her, and in front of her, and across from her, and in back of her. I'm looking at their faces, and they are making some frowny faces, friends. How do you think they feel about all of Tessie's talking? I think they might be annoying them. At school, Tessie talks as she takes her seat in the classroom. Guess what? I visited a planetarium and took a field trip through the solar system without leaving the Earth. And online, I learned about geology. Did you know that rocks tell a tale by their fossils? Igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic are the 3 types of rocks. Hello, class. Let's start today with show and tell, says Mrs. Hardy, the teacher, who has something to share. I saw the cutest meerkats on TV. They communicate with sounds like we do. They purr, and when they're happy, and chatter, and when they're scared. Tessie doesn't hear Mrs. Hardy. She keeps yapping and yakking. Everyone remember to raise your hand before speaking, Miss Hardy says. That's the rule in our class. It helps everyone listen while one person talks. Tessie raises her hand high into the air. She waves her arm several times. My hand is raised. Look, my hand. Look, my hand. Class, to make sure everyone has a chance to be heard, we're going to start using a talking stick. We'll take turns passing it around, and you may only talk when you have the stick. When you don't have the stick, it's your job to listen carefully to the person talking. Miss Hardy says, everyone will take turns talking. You need to wait for your turn, Tessie. Can I please have the talking stick? I want to talk. Oh man, look at everybody in class. I think they might be tired of Tessie talking all the time. During recess, Tessie talks and talks and talks. She tells the girls about her heroes. When I grow up, I'm going to be a scientist like Marie Curie. She was a famous chemist. And when the girls are on her way to the swing, she jabbers at the boys. I still don't know what to do for a science project. Maybe I can make an ant farm. And when the boys run away to play soccer, Tessie finds herself all alone. Why did everyone go away, she thinks. After recess, Tessie goes to talk to Miss Hardy. I don't know what to do, Tessie says softly. My family tells me to shh. My classmates run away. It makes me sad. Why doesn't anyone want to listen to me? Why do you think no one wants to listen to Tessie? I think it's because she talks too much, too. Tessie, you have some fascinating stories to tell, but you need to learn to listen to others as well, says Mrs. Hardy. I know someone who can help you lasso that tongue and open those ears. Huh? Says Tessie. You mean I have to tame my tongue? She imagines herself trying to lasso her tongue as if it were a wild stallion. Together, Mrs. Hardy and Tessie visit Mr. Abel, the school counselor, in his office. Mr. Abel asks, "What's the problem, Tessie?" "Can you help me, Mr. Abel? I need to tame my tongue. I like to talk about all the things that are in my head. But sometimes, well, maybe I talk too much." Mr. Abel nods. "I might be able to help you." Mr. Abel nods. "I think I might be able to help. Let's think about this. What do you think a good listener does?" Tessie imagines the times when other people listened to her. "I think a good listener pays attention. A good listener looks at the person talking and stays quiet." "Very true," said Mr. Abel. "Good listeners also keep their mouths closed and relax their tongues." "That sounds so hard," Tessie says. "Yes, sometimes it can be hard, but you know what? You've been a good listener for me while I've been talking. That shows you can do it." So let's look at what Tessie said a good listener does. They look, so their eyes are watching. They stay quiet, so their mouths are quiet. So that's 2 of our rules. This makes Tessie feel better. You could be a good listener. But what do I do when my tongue wants to speed off on its own? When your tongue wants to speed off, that's a sign you need to slow down. Sometimes when I want to slow down, I take 3 deep belly breaths. Do some with me. Together, Tessie and Mr. Abel practice taking 3 deep breaths, slowly in through the nose and slowly out through the mouth. Can you take 3 deep breaths with me? Let's try. And out. And in. And out. And in. And out. "What else could you do to keep your tongue quiet?" Mr. Abel asks. "I could curl my toes 10 times, she says. That would slow me down. Can you curl your toes 10 times? "Excellent." Mr. Abel hands Tessie a marker. "You make a plan for taming your tongue, and I will help." It says, focus on what the person talking is saying. When the person is done talking, ask him or her a question. Imagine squeezing a lemon. Squeeze, then let go. Imagine smelling a beautiful flower. And Tessie writes, "To be a good listener, I will keep my eyes on the person talking, close my mouth, and relax my tongue. To stop my tongue from speeding away, I will take 3 deep belly breaths and curl my toes 10 times. So Tessie has a plan. "This looks like a good plan," Mr. Abel says. "Remember, this will take practice. Come back and see me every Friday and we'll see how you're doing." Tessie can feel her tongue start to dance and prance in her mouth, so she takes 3 deep belly breaths. Air goes into her nose and slowly out through her mouth. She imagines sniffing a red and white peppermint flower and blowing the petals. Her mouth stays quiet. Tessie tells her parents about the plan to tame her tongue. "I'm going to be a tongue tamer." "I know you can do it," says her mother. "I know you can do it," says her father. "I doubt it," says her brother. Week 1. For the next few weeks, everywhere she goes, Tessie practices the skills that Mr. Abel taught her. At first, it's very hard. She still wants to gab, but Tessie does her best. And day by day, she becomes a better listener. When others talk, she looks into their eyes and pays attention to their words. She listens until they've finished talking and then asks questions about what the speaker was talking about. When it comes time to present her science project, No one is surprised when Tessie does a report on tongues. She tells her class fun facts about the tongue. Did you know your tongue has 8 muscles and 3 to 10,000 taste buds? Tongues are about 4 inches long, and girls have shorter tongues than boys. And sticking out your tongue at people in North America is rude, but is a greeting in Tibet. When Tessie goes to see Mr. Abel for their weekly Friday meeting, he says, "Congratulations, because you've made progress. You no longer need to visit me every week. Keep practicing these skills. I'm very proud of you for learning how to tame your tongue." "Me too. Thanks for helping me," says Tessie. A few days later, Miss Hardy talks to Tessie's parents. Tessie is listening more and talking less in the class. Her schoolwork is excellent. She is a leader and helps in the classroom. She likes fun facts and tells funny stories that make everyone laugh. I'm proud of her. We're proud of her too, says Tessie's father. We give her 15 minutes of Tessie talk time during the dinner, and she no longer talks with her mouth full, says her mother. Tessie imagines taming her tongue and doesn't interrupt. Oh, look at how pleased she is. She has a big smile on her face. The next week, a brand new boy named Tommy joins Miss Hardy's class, and he talks without the talking stick. I just moved here from Flagstaff, Arizona, which is close to the Grand Canyon. He talks at lunch with his mouth full. He talks so much that the other kids run away from him at recess. Tessie knows how he feels. And when I had my tonsils taken out, I got all the ice cream I could eat. I was the best at all the sports at my old school. Hey, where's everybody going? Why does everyone run away? Tommy asks. Why doesn't anybody listen to me? Tessie grins. You know what? I might be able to help. The end. That was an excellent book. Tessie sure was a talker, wasn't she? In the book we just read, Tessie learned how to be a good listener and focus her attention on the speaker. Tessie learned that it's important to have your eyes watching the speaker, your ears listening to the speaker, your mouth being quiet, and keeping your body calm. I know next time we're together, you'll be able to remember the listening rules just like Tessie.